Hello and welcome back to Marineford TCG. This morning Bandai has given us yet another leader. We're only missing one now from OP11, and this one is Nami. A new Nami leader that isn't Solitaire was one that had been hotly waited for. I know there's a lot of Nami fans out there, and we've finally got a really exciting Nami leader to talk about. So, Nami is blue and yellow, which is historically one of the worst type combinations in the game. However, I think she's going to buck the trend with just how strong these effects are. She is a 5000 power, 4 life leader, Straw Hat Crew. During your turn, once per turn, when a life leaves any life pile, you may activate this effect. Draw a card if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand. So, being any life pile, that includes both yours and your opponent's, and there are a ton of ways we can take advantage of this. And she also has another effect, Don X1 when your opponent attacks once per turn. You can trash one card from your hand, and then you give the Nami plus 2000 power for the turn. Not for the battle, for the turn. This is going to be an incredibly powerful effect in certain matchups against decks that like to go wide rather than tall. Things like Doflamingo and things like OP11 Zoro. This is going to really negate their attacks, make it really hard for them to get through. And I think in particular against Doflamingo, this is quite exciting, because Doflamingo is still the best deck in the game. At least as far as OP10, we don't really have enough data for EBO2 yet. But up to OP10, Doflamingo's been the best deck for sort of 2.5 sets now. So having another matchup coming in that's a really powerful leader and is going to have a good matchup into Doflamingo, I think is quite exciting. So, in terms of how we can take advantage of the first effect, it's going to allow cards like Zeus and Sabo to get removal, whilst also drawing new cards, because they remove cards from your own life to get big, overstated removal effects, and then Nami's going to let you draw a card from that, which is really nice. Makes these cards slightly less painful to play. I do wish the Zeus was a Straw Hat Crew card. It would feel fitting, but sadly just Big Mum. But either way, I think both of these are going to be pretty effective in the Nami deck to help you keep tempo on your opponents and get you those draws that you so badly need with these 4 life leaders. We also have trash life effects. You can take advantage of this. Cards like Nico Robin and 8-cost Kid are going to let you trash your opponent's life, and you get to draw a card for the privilege. There are of course other cards than this, Soul Pocus, 7-cost Mum, 6-cost Mum. There's many cards with similar effects here, and I think this is going to be a very interesting way to build into Nami. I'm not sure which is going to be the best. Is it going to be removal? Is it going to be life trash? Is it going to be a mix of both? We'll just have to see. We also have this cute little combo that I've seen some people discussing. The Queen Mama Chanter is a 2-cost stage with a trigger play. Activate May, you can rest this card, take a life, then add one of your 3-cost characters, specifically 3, not 3 or less, watch out for that, to the top of your life, face up. So the new combo you can do with this is the VV in blue. There's other cards in yellow you can do, one we're going to discuss later. And also X-Drake is a pretty cool one. You can rest one of your opponent's fellas, put the X-Drake back in life to get it back to hand as a 2k, and then of course draw a card from your Nami leader's effect. Seems pretty powerful. With this VV, we're multicoloured. You play her, you draw 2, you put her in life with the Chanter, you draw another card from the life that you added to hand, and then you draw a card from the Nami effect, adding the life to hand. Bananas. I think this card is a little bit debatable, but I think being able to control 100% when you get that draw is going to be very useful. And of course we can't forget that it does not say by an effect. This does work on battle. You just swing 9 and your opponent takes, you get to draw a card. You're getting value just constantly with this effect. Seems very strong to me. So much card advantage, and then that's going to let you abuse your second effect even more. One more card I do want to talk about is this Nojo. She's a 2-cost 0 power unit from OP03, and she is hardlocked to Nami, which previously was just a mill Nami. And this card saw play in that from time to time, not always, but it's been a little bit of a tech card. But in this Nami, 2 Don to bounce a 5, that seems very powerful. Especially if you can then bounce this to your hand. Maybe with something like a Jozu, you can pick this up, play it down again. You're going to be really annoying your opponent, constantly bouncing all their stuff. So if they're playing one sort of medium-sized character at a time, you've got rate removal into that. They're going wide, you've got your leader effect to cover that. And if they're just going tall with big things, you can play Red Rock. You can search for Red Rock. How can we search for Red Rock? We can search for Red Rock with Beige. He's the new searcher, if you remember, out of OP11. This is going to look for the top 4 for Fire Tank or Straw Hat Crew. Type card would cost 2 or more. Very similar to the lore that's in purple. And I think this is going to be a very good deck for this. You can obviously search whatever blue Straw Hat Crew cards we get in OP11. We don't have the reveals on those yet, so that's going to be something we've got to wait for. You can also search this Beige, and a very funny one is you can search this Beige, then put it in your life with the Queen Mama Chanter, because it is a 3-cost character. Guaranteed Beige. This is pretty cool. I don't know if it's going to be the strongest, but it does seem pretty cool. So between the Nojo, the Jozu, the leader effect for the wide decks, and Red Rock, I think you've kind of got all your bases covered on the removal, and then we've just got to sort of put on the pressure ourselves. So one way that some people have suggested to put on a bit of pressure ourselves is with the baby combo. Of course, when you use cards like Hiyori, you are going to get to draw a card, which sort of offsets the playing cost of using the Hiyori. It does mean you're not getting that effect if your opponent takes damage, or if you trash their life or anything like that. But it means that playing Hiyori in a deck that's not BY doesn't feel as awful. And you can also, of course, use Hiyori with the babies and the big guys from Starter Deck 13. I'll just put the ace here. You can use any of them, of course. I'm not sure this is going to be the way to go, but it's a pretty cool combo, right? Because even if you don't use Hiyori and you just YOLO it, the ace coming out of life is going to buff your leader to 7. The leader effect can buff her to 9, so the opponent is not getting through. And then you're going to get to draw a card, of course, when the ace comes out of life, if you've not already drawn one from some other effect. So I do think this combo is pretty cool. I don't think this is going to be very good. Unless we get a new blue Straw Hat card, maybe a Luffy, that can help this be a little more reliable. Without Moria, I think this is mostly going to be a little bit of a cope play. But either way, just a short video today. I just wanted to briefly talk about this Nami. Let me know your thoughts if there's any other cool combos that you've thought of. I'm really getting excited for OP11. I think some of these leaders are really going to turn the format on its head. The blue-purple Luffy, this Nami. I think the Katakuri is a bit of a sleeper. We'll have more on that tomorrow in the news video. But I do think this OP11 is going to be a big power shift for the game. Hopefully getting away from decks like Doflamingo just ruling the roost forever. I'd really like to see some new challenges, and I think we're getting there. We do have one more leader to be revealed. Every sign points to Kobe, and I'm really excited because a Black Navy leader, that's my absolute jam. I love Black Navy. My favourite archetype in the game, which is fitting, I suppose. Yeah, I think the removal, tempo-based removal, is way more fun than Lucci's removal. So we'll have to see what Kobe does, if it is indeed Kobe, when he gets here. But with that said, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Nami in the comments. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.